Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, glad to have you. You might be watching on Facebook or you might be watching on YouTube. Glad that you can join me. Glad you're here with me. And as you can see, we are live streaming this review here. So looking forward to this. I ran into this video here and I think it came under my radar a couple of times. So let me see what the experts are saying. For those that are new on the channel, my name is Manny. I'm a certified personal trainer, creator, owner, and lead instructor of Mannys Fitness Program. We specialize in online coaching, personal and group training at its finest, and that's a promise from me. I've been doing this for 12 years officially. I started my business, fitness program business in 2009. Been going strong, still strong, going stronger as we continue. And we stick to the basics. It's not rocket science when it comes down to losing weight, building muscles, staying healthy. It's not rocket science, so let's not try to complicate things. I know there's a lot going on the internet, on YouTube, on social media, what we're supposed to be doing to reach a certain goal. Maybe our goal is just to get healthier. What do we need to do? What are we doing wrong? What are we doing right so we can continue? Stuff like that. We're going to be talking about all that here on this video. So if you have a question, comment, or concern, make sure you leave it down below. I love reading your comments, answering your questions, all that good stuff. With that said, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get the video started. All right. Okay, so let's get into it. If you're joining me here live stream, you are awesome and outstanding for coming and giving me your little bit of time. I know we have busy schedules, but sometimes maybe you can catch something that you can run with. I might say something or share something that can help you in your fitness and nutrition goals, or just your overall fitness and nutrition regimen. And like I said on the intro, we stick to the basics. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my philosophy, or just the philosophy of my program, Mannys Fitness Program. So, but other than that, we are gonna review this video here that we have. We have a video from, it's called Gravity Transformation Dash Fat Loss Experts. So this channel has like 4 million billion subscribers, so I guess we got some experts. I don't consider myself being an expert or anything like that. I know we all have still some learning to do. I know I do. There's always something new or relevant that we need to keep up with to stay relevant. So let's see. And like I said, it's the basis. At the end of the day, we're going to come down to back in the day when we were hunters and gatherers, and just compare that lifestyle to now. I know that we have a different, more modern lifestyle, but still we have to realize and understand the type of body that we're dealing with here. It is some awesome technical body that we have. And just knowing the basics will help you live a healthy and strong life. Nobody should be living their life weak and unhealthy. The only thing is that it is hard work. It is hard work now. It is a hard work that we need to apply nowadays, that we used to have it automatically just to survive. Before, we used to be hunters, gatherers. That was our workout right there, moving from one position or one location to the other. That was our workout back in the day. Just surviving, hunting, planting, gathering, all that was a workout. So that kept us healthy as we continued. So again, if you have a question, comment, or concern, make sure you leave it down below. Share with us. Share with us what you think so far, and hit that like button. If you're watching this as a pre-recording, leave a comment, question, or concern down below still, and I'll answer it to the best of my ability as fast as humanly possible. Let's get into it. All right, so Let's see. Let's get into the video. Let's see if we can agree with some of these things, for these tips that an expert is going to share with us. And this video was posted maybe like a year ago, a year and a half ago. So it's not too long. It's not too long. It's not ancient. So let's see. Let's see if we can agree with this. All right. You guys ready? Let's go.
Our bodies are wired to store fat around our center of mass, which happens to be the belly, love handles, and hips. And there's a very good reason for this. Storing pounds of fat on more distal areas like your hands and your feet would require a lot more energy to carry around and to do the things that we need to do on a daily basis to survive. And this defeats the whole biological purpose of storing fat to begin with, which is essentially your body trying to stock up on energy in the form of body fat in case of a future famine where there's a shortage of food, or in other words, a shortage of energy.
See, there it is right there, famine. When there's no food, there's no rain, there's no harvest, there's none of that going on. Sometimes we don't get rain and we can't harvest. Back in the day, we needed to have our own gardens and plants, farming our own food. Now we can just go to the food market or the grocery store and get it there. But before, we needed to have our own harvesting system. So the body, what it did is it always wants to store some body fat. We can use ketones as an energy source. We can use carbohydrates and we can use fats and oils as an energy source. The carbohydrates transform into glucose, and then the good fats, good oils will transform into ketones, an energy source. So with that said, if there's too much of it, it converts into body fat. So you don't want that. Especially carbohydrates. There's a lot of calories in carbohydrates compared to protein. You can have 230 grams of any protein source, and a lot of times you'll have 230 calories per gram. When it comes down to fats, there's going to be 9 calories per gram. When it comes down to carbohydrates and protein, there's going to be 4 grams per gram. 4 calories per gram. So my battery is a little low, so we're going to go through just a couple of these tips, and then we might continue this review here. Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, so famine, talking about famine, storing body fat, all that.
In sports like wrestling and judo, we can see that our center of mass gives us the leverage we need to carry heavy weight loads without expending a ton of energy. Your body already naturally knows this, so that's why one of the first areas to gain fat when you overeat is your belly. Unfortunately, even though your body is wired to view this as very efficient, not only is the stomach area the last spot that most people want to gain fat, but it's also very unhealthy to carry large amounts of fat around your midsection. Now, even though your body is quick to store fat around your stomach, it's very hesitant to let it go and will usually be one of the last spots that it pulls fat from. So you need to reduce.
And that's where we store our fat for energy, for an energy source. Now, here's the thing. Just because you have more fat doesn't mean you're going to be having way more energy. That body fat that's stored, too much of it can also be detrimental to your health and to your overall body systems, and especially cardiovascular. So too much of it is also not good. You guys have always heard the saying, too much of a good thing is also not good for us. So yeah.
Reduce your overall body fat percentage low enough to allow your body to burn the fat everywhere else before it starts pulling energy from the fat stored around your midsection. This is done mostly through diet. So a lot of times many people follow a strict diet, which becomes more and more difficult the longer you try to stick to it. So today I want to give you guys 14 quick guidelines that you could use to start burning body fat and belly fat as soon as possible without having to torture yourself in the process. And the very first extremely effective thing that you can do is limit the amount of high sugar foods that you eat. Sugar doesn't only taste good in the moment, but it makes you crave more sugar in the future. When you habitually eat
Why is that? Why is that we crave more sugar? First of all, it is addictive. We're not meant to consume isolated sugar. We're not meant to consume it in that way, shape, and form. We used to consume it from fruits, from cane sugar, just strictly from cane or just ordinary fruit. That's where we usually received our sweet tooth cravings in from fruit. Eating fruit will quench that, and again, it's natural sugar. Now we have table sugar and sugars that are isolated and converted into a an ingredient to almost every single food in the market that's out there right now. It's already included. There's a lot of sugar in everything. You'll be surprised. Check your milk. Check your milk for the sugar content and see how much sugar your milk has nowadays.
things like cookies, ice cream, and cake, you actually wind up decreasing the sensitivity of your palate, which makes natural, healthy sources of sugar like fruit taste much less sweet and satisfying.
Yep, that is true. That's it. Your tolerance, your taste bud tolerance. As soon as you eat too much of a sweet food, your tolerance goes up. So now, when you want to reduce your sugar intake, you're gonna hate that food that's lower of level of sweetness than what you're used to, because now you're gonna taste everything dull. It's gonna taste unflavored because you're so used to receiving that high dose of sweetness. So yeah, your taste buds will also take a hit when you don't regulate your sugar or sweetness intake.
There are also studies that show a direct link between having a high sugar intake and having higher levels of abdominal fat. This is due to the fact that sugar spikes insulin, which is a fat storage hormone, and it also decreases insulin sensitivity. So this doesn't mean that you can never have any sweets. You can reward yourself with something like ice cream at the end of the week, but it shouldn't be a staple part of your diet throughout the week. Instead, you should do your best to stick to fruit to satisfy your sweet tooth. Next,
There it is right there. So satisfying your sweet tooth with some fruit. Always stick to fruit. I don't ever use any table sugar. I never use that. I always get my sugars from syrup, and then fruit, syrup and fruit, syrup and fruit. That's always my go-to ingredients if I want something sweet. Of course, there's a time and place when you go and enjoy yourself, have some cake or something. But the majority of time, regulating your diet to where you consume the right amount of sugar throughout the week, and when you want to treat yourself, of course, you're going to go above your regular dose, but then you come back to the regular one and even lower it down even more, just to make sure you continually balance your taste buds, like you mentioned. So far so good. So far so good on the information is giving. I like this. This is only the very first tip, and I might be making 14 live streams on this one, because it's sounding pretty good. I want to make sure I share with you guys my perspective based on my philosophy, my training, my experience, and see if we can come to a conclusion and an agreement. But then again, I have another video that I want to share with you guys that I didn't agree with, and I will share with you guys here on my channel and or here on Facebook. But if you guys like these kind of videos, make sure you hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you don't miss none of my future videos. If you're watching here on Facebook, glad to have you as my friend here. And leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Make sure you guys add some comments here and there. Let me know if you guys are liking the content that I add on my Facebook. And if you're watching from this YouTube, glad to have you in the revolution. Manny Ramos Fitness is what it's all about. But other than that, again, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. And my camera just turned off. I'll see you on the next one. Mind, body, and strive.